You ever work with Charlie Sheen, by the way?
Charlie's one of my best friends. Charlie used to call my mother once a month. Robert Downey, Charlie Sheen, I'm gonna blow people away. Rob Lowe, all those guys. I'm gonna give you a good story that I've never given anybody. I was introduced to Quincy Jones and he became my real friend. He goes, "Get the hell out of my house."
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio. Folks, I got a real treat for you, as I always do, but this time it's a double treat. This guy has been through the fire and came out dropping wisdom. He doesn't sugarcoat, he doesn't play soft, and he sure as hell doesn't make excuses. Straight out of Compton, he went from getting dealt some serious life blows to coaching the biggest names in the game. Hollywood stars, business moguls, pro athletes, you name it. When people like Oprah, Steve Harvey, Robert Downey Jr., and the list goes on, needs real advice that actually works, this is the guy they call. He's the guy who teaches you how to basically stand steady when life knocks you sideways, pulls leaders out of breakdowns and into breakthroughs, and speaks truth that turns off excuses. He's walked out of the fire so you don't have to get burned, my friends. And now he's here to teach you how to spark your own comeback. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Storey.
Your real friend.
Tim Storey.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is it hard being this handsome?
Sometimes. Sometimes it is. People prejudge you.
Yes.
You know, and now that I'm aging a little bit and I think they're beginning to fade a smidge.
Yeah.
You know, then now I just get a whole nother set of problems.
I don't think you're fading. I recently had a little lunch time with George Clooney. I've known George 25 years. He's aging in a different way, but in a mature way. And I think that's what's happening with you. But that's an interesting question because most people will ask that question to a woman, right? But even men can go through that.
Yes. Well, again, sometimes I do feel like a piece of meat.
Let's talk about that.
Well, what I want to know,
yeah,
Tim, is because, again, a lot of people know who you are. Obviously, you got a big following. You run around with all the Hollywood celebs.
Yes.
Did you ever work with Charlie Sheen, by the way?
Charlie's one of my best friends. So I've been working with Charlie Sheen for 28 years. Charlie is one of the nicest guys I know. I was just talking to my mother yesterday because Charlie used to call my mother once a month just to check up on her. And Charlie can actually speak Spanish. And my mother's first language is Spanish. And they'd go at it in Spanish. So Charlie, great friend, helped him through his setback, comeback, another setback, another comeback. And he's rolling very nice right now. He's working on a new project. And Charlie's he's a cool guy.
A book, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Coming out with a book?
Coming out with a book, yeah.
So the reason I ask is because I talked to someone the other day that knows him, and I told him, you know, that would be the guy that I would love to freaking have just a real conversation with.
Yeah, we should work on that.
I mean, you probably have sat there and had real conversations with a lot of people.
Well, let's go back to Charlie for a second, because I can remember moments where Charlie was on TMZ that night, but I was with him in the morning because something had blown up, and then would stay with him almost through the night. But we would talk in all settings about all things. But I find this interesting about a lot of brilliant people. A lot of brilliant people get in trouble. If you think about that, from the best artists of the past, best musicians, and it's almost like the average person has 2 rooms in their house. I feel like brilliant people have like a 3rd room, and they don't always know how to handle that 3rd room. That's how Charlie is.
That's how a lot of people are. Mm-hmm. There's no more masters anymore. What do you think's happened to the mastery that used to be? Like when I was growing up, there was like, you know, people that were just masters at something.
Yeah.
And now it seems like everyone's kind of surfacey. There's no real masters. There's just a bunch of novice people pretending to be, novice people with a brand.
That's a great question. So let's stick with the acting side of mastery. So Robert Downey, Charlie Sheen, I'm going to blow people away, Rob Lowe, all those guys knew each other when they were young. And so Robert, as you know, I've been working with since 1999, Robert Downey Jr. He learned mastery from his dad, who was a great director. Rob Lowe, Charlie Sheen, and even Sean Penn, when they were 13, 14, 15, they were learning from who? Martin Sheen, from Charlie's dad. So they were learning about acting, filmmaking. So before they went out there and tried to be a pro on their own, they were being mentored by the masters. So that's part of the challenge, is that where are the masters, and are the masters mentoring the people?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of mentors out there now, but they're not necessarily masters.
100%. In fact, we have a big problem. It's like I noticed that you go to a lot of hockey games here in Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a master would be a Wayne Gretzky. You agree?
Sure.
Okay. But when you ask him who are some of the guys he looked to, is guys like Gordie Howe, like names that people would not even know today. But he learned so much about his style, his technique, his timing. I was recently with Dr. J, who was a great basketball player, and Dr. J taught Michael Jordan so much. So it was Dr. J to a Michael Jordan. It's called the law of reproduction. Like produces like. So I think that the fact that there's not many real masters, it has weakened what we have next, because the law of reproduction is not strong.
Why do you think that is?
Part of it is everybody wants a shortcut. Everybody wants a shortcut. So they want to work for Brad Lee until maybe somebody else might give them an opportunity that they think is the shiny thing. Or they want to work with me, but then maybe they find somebody else that may give them the shiny thing. Where, let's talk about you as a kid. I mean, what was one of your first jobs? And you probably, once you were mature enough, were at least faithful to that job. Tell me one of your early jobs.
Well, I mean, how early?
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Dang. Well, in the beginning, I didn't really, do anything but just side hustles, mow lawns, stuff like that. I didn't really have a job. When I was pressured by my family to get a real job, they were talking about labor. They were talking about, working in the mill, working in the, being a lumberjack.
Yeah.
So I went out and I got the job, and I went out there and I didn't really like it. So I didn't like hard work. It was like, I got poison oak. They said it was part of the gig, like it was going to happen. So just, quit bitching. And it was up and down hills and sticks poking you in the face. And, it wasn't good. So I quit. And then I went and I sold cars, found a job in the paper the next day. And it was talking about selling cars. I went in and started selling cars. That was, I was almost 18, but from 18 is when I consider I had my first job. Now I had a job at the thing called Bob's Hamburgers.
I remember that
for a minute.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really loyal to anything. I was just trying to get a check. I think the first thing that caught me to where now I was loyal was selling cars.
Okay.
Because a lot of the people would be like, come over here and work here. And it's like, I just stayed at the dealership. But in that business, dude, a lot of people bounce around. A lot of people are not necessarily loyal, but they're looking for the best opportunity.
Yes.
And they do follow the shiny object.
So as you know, people learn three primary ways. Watch what we do with this: education, conversation, and observation. So the education would be like something like a Tony Robbins, who says, I started reading hundreds and hundreds of books. I educated myself. Education is one way we learn. The other is by conversation, where maybe you could be talking to your grandfather or your dad or your uncle or a boss, and they had conversations with us about how to really be a real man. The other is observation. I think one of the greatest ways to learn is observation, to see another person's hustle. Tell me a time in your life where you saw another person's hustle and you said, I think I want to be like that.
Well, I mean, that happened several times.
Okay.
Mainly growing up in the car business, it was always a sales manager or a general manager, but it wasn't their hustle necessarily. It was just the fact that it was their swagger.
Yeah.
But when you're a young salesman and the boss is, making all the money and essentially doesn't really do much except watch all the salesmen do the work, you get enamored pretty easily.
Yes. I'm going to give you a good story that I've never given anybody. So I was introduced to Quincy Jones 37 years ago. He's now passed, and he became my real friend, like my real friend. So I was up at his place in Bel Air, which was a mansion, at least 2 times a month, unless he was traveling or I was traveling, but that often. And he gave me an assignment one time, and he said, Tim, I really like the way your mind thinks. I'm working on this project. Do me a favor, write 3 pages of what you think I should do with this project. So from Quincy's house, I had to go on Sunset Boulevard in Downey to this office of this well-known lady who was a writer, and she had written an amazing movie. So I just came into her office, and I was a young guy. I was like 37 years of age. And she said, so what have you been doing today? And I said, I was over at Quincy's house, and we were talking about something. He wants me to do this project. Well, what does he want you to do? I said, well, I probably shouldn't talk about it. No, but what does he want you to do? Well, he wants me to write about this subject. And she says, Tim, you're not a real writer. She goes, I'm a writer. She says, let me write it for you, because otherwise you're going to let him down. And Brad, I tell you, with everything inside of me, I wanted to tell her no, but she was a very powerful and forceful lady. So I said, I really don't want to, because I think he's going to get bothered with me. But she goes, let me just write it. I'll email it to you, and then it's going to be better. So she wrote on the subject that he asked me to do. So 2 days later, I go to Quincy's house. It was a great project he was working on, because he does films and did everything. So he asked the Tim Storey point of view from me being a life coach. And so he sat down on a couch and he took first page and read it. And I'll never forget, he took this typing paper and he tossed it, the first one, over his head, and I didn't understand. He got the second page, took it, read it, and tossed it over his head. I'm thinking, I wonder why he's doing that. Took the third page and threw it over his head. And then he goes, how long did it take you to come up with this bullshit? And he goes, you did not write this. And I said, no, I didn't. He goes, get the hell out of my house. This is a true story. So could you imagine a mentor, somebody you look up to, a man that won over 20 Grammy Awards, Academy Awards, Tony Awards? He literally kicked me out of his house. And I'll never forget, as I was going down the stairs, I thought it was going to be like a breakup with a girlfriend when the girlfriend yells, I didn't mean it, come back, right? Then he had a security guy on the outside. He was a black guy from LAPD that would work on his, off hours there. And he had a couple other guys that would do that too. And he goes, Tim, didn't you just get here? And I go, yeah. I go, he kicked me out of the house. He goes, why? I said, I was doing this assignment. I didn't do it right. And he kicked me out of the house. I go, has he ever kicked anybody else out? And he goes, no. Brad, you talk about learning about responsibility and leadership the tough way. It was probably the longest 4 days of my life because he didn't reach out to me. I did not reach out to him. And literally on the 5th day, his assistant reached out and said, Q wants to see you, because he goes by Quincy, Q. And I came into his office, and he just looked at me and goes, you disappoint me. He said, if I wanted somebody else's spirit on my project, I would have asked for somebody else. He said, I wanted your spirit. I wanted your essence, your presence. This is important to me. I don't want her knowing about this. This is so important to me, and yet you did that to me. And I tell you, what a wake-up call of leadership. To me, that was real mentoring from a master. Even though he was tough on me. So when I tell you that story, what goes through your mind?
Well, you didn't believe in yourself.
You're right.
It could have been. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist.
No. I did it enough because I was 37. I'm asked by a legend, and then this lady who was good at writing movies says to me, you're not qualified. And he must have thought I was qualified if he asked me to do it.
Yeah, you second guessed it.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about this idea of him just tossing me out of his house? How would you have felt?
Well, I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, didn't feel good.
But he brought you back. So
he brought me back. And to me,
did you ever write it?
No, because I ticked him off so bad. He didn't want my opinion on that. But that was a lesson learned that brought us even closer together. It brought us.
Yeah, but you ever think maybe deep down, he always remembers that?
No doubt about it.
All the rest of your guys' conversations, he still remembered.
I ticked him off. Yeah, because this was a very important project that he was doing, and he didn't want many people to know about it. But that's another thing about being too busy. Because I was going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. So back when I was 37, we weren't doing Zoom calls, okay? And, it wasn't the iPhone. So a lot of my meetings were going to Paramount Pictures or NBC or to go meet somebody at Mel's Diner on Sunset. A lot of my life coaching of these people in the entertainment business was one-on-one. I think I was moving around so fast that I didn't really pay attention to how important this assignment was that he was giving me, which is a big challenge for people even today, where we become human doings rather than human beings.
So how did you even get into all this?
I think that for me, I just became skilled at being a therapist, counselor. So my doctorate is in world religion. And the reason I did that is to be a humanitarian. I loved the life of Mother Teresa. I've now been to 82 countries, helping people out. So I then got a master's in counseling therapy. And it just so happened that I started doing inner city projects when I was only 20. And I was, like you, a go-getter. So I get guys from the NFL to come and share their story in these inner cities. And I remember a very famous guy that you would remember, a football player. He says, hey, little story. He says, I got money and you got a skill set. He goes, let's go help some people. And that's what happened. At 20 years of age, I started hitting all these inner cities with NFL players, and they started helping me financially and just opened these doors. And then athletes know other athletes. So went from the NFL to the NBA, and a lot of athletes know a lot of entertainers, and it took off. I never looked for one. So I've never looked for one entertainer that I'm going after this person. It's always been word of mouth.
But you went to school to become some sort of therapist?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What do they teach you? Like, what are the methods?
Yeah, I think that for me, I got into what's called crisis counseling. I think a lot of that was because of the crisis I had been through in my life. 10 years of age, father passes away. I was born and spent a lot of time Compton, California, which is a tough place to be. That's where the Williams sisters are from, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar. So I understood adversity and pain. I feel like I was birthed in pain. So even while I was in college, I wanted to find a way to get through my own pain, but also to help other people that are in pain.
What was your pain?
My pain was like, crap, is my whole life going to be like, I'm going to be a discount version? What do I mean by that? When I was a kid, if we wanted Converse, we got something like it. If you wanted Levi's, you got something like it. So if I wanted a Schwinn bicycle, I got a Huffy. So I didn't like that feeling. So mostly when we started moving to better neighborhoods and you saw people with like great skateboards, or you saw them with not just regular Levi's, but now they had cords. Remember Levi cords? Okay. It's like, dude, and I'm wearing like my brother's clothes. So I didn't like that discount version feeling at all. Yeah, it's almost like my life was on discount.
You didn't like that
at all, no. And I think that anybody watching doesn't like that feeling.
Well, I don't think anyone enjoys that.
No.
How do you think people will like counsel them out of it on this podcast? Like,
yeah,
talk to somebody out there that, because I try to counsel, but I don't have any education behind it. I just try to share.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's what's crazy, you know, and this is to me like prophetic almost. Like God maybe got me to realize this.
Yeah.
It boils down to free will.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've got the ability to choose, right? I mean, who makes your choices? You do. Who makes mine? I do. So it's like, you know, if you're a grown person, even if you're a kid, you technically make your own choices. You're just choosing to follow your parents' advice. You might get your butt beat, but at the end of the day, we were born with free will. Mm-hmm. We have a choice, and yet every single day, people don't realize that the choice, the maker, the free will, that's the controller, and they don't know how to get a hold of it, and 100%. It makes no sense to me.
Yes.
So when they come to me and I try to, you know, how do I get rich, Brad? You know. Well, first of all, you have to realize we operate in a vibrational frequency. Mm-hmm. So we are all vibrational frequencies. And you can choose the frequency you vibrate in.
Agree, 100%.
And the vibration will attract like vibration. Yes. Like you said, you know, like action causes like result. Like frequency, draws like frequency.
It does.
And we get to choose our frequency. We can choose to be what I call heavenly energy, right? Mm-hmm. That's courage, you know, love, kindness, generosity, confidence, everything that you would think would be in heaven. That's heavenly energy. Then there's earthly energy. That's the fear, the anxiety, the depression, the envy, the greed, the jealousy, you know, that type of thing.
Great thinking.
And so if we've got the power to choose, which we do.
Yes.
Why would you choose any of this? And then people want to sit there and be like, well, Tim came over and called me a name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Tim made you mad. Yeah. Yep. Tim Storey made me mad. Mm-hmm. When in reality, we chose to be mad. Yeah. I chose to react that way. Why don't you think people realize that it's just the choices they're making on a daily basis, not even big ones, little ones, quiet ones. Those are the ones ruining people's life.
Well, number one, that is not just good insight, that's brilliant insight. So, you know, I coach for a living. So I've coached 4 people today already, life coaching people and companies. That's brilliant thinking. One reason people are making bad choices is because of the chaos in their life. So when there's chaos in your life and there's distraction, it's hard to go into a quiet place and make the right choice. Let me give you an example. I go into a place called Nate and Al's in Beverly Hills, and I was working on a book. So I was interviewing the waitresses there. Some of them had been there as much as 30 years. So I asked this one waitress, Gladys, I said, Gladys, when most people are going to order and you come by and say, what would you like? Are they usually ready? And she goes, Tim, that's a great question. She goes, almost every time, no. They say, can you come back? I said, then how about the second time? They say, can you come back? How about the third time? Then they rush through and then they make a selection. This is so powerful. I think because of the chaos in people's lives and the confusion and the busyness, it's just like ordering from a diner, that they don't take the time to look at the menu and make a choice. What is a choice? If you study the word choice in Webster's dictionary, it means a selection. So you're exactly right. Every day, Brad Lee has all these choices that Brad needs to make. It's a selection. How am I going to get to work? What time am I going to go? Am I going to go to the gym today? I'm supposed to get my hair cut. Do I still have time to do it? These people are asking me to go to Dubai. Do I have time to do that? Do I want to get season tickets again to go to the hockey game? Tim Storey is in town. Do we still have time to meet even though we're friends? It's all about these choices and selection. So last thing on this. Today's decisions are tomorrow's realities. So the selections that me and you make today are the realities of tomorrow.
And sometimes even the immediate realities.
I was wondering when you're going to drop that doggone bomb.
There it is. There's the bomb. Because I need to wake people up. Like there's so many people failing in the world, whether it's their business. And some people be like, hey, you gotta take some lumps. Well, I understand all that. I took 1,000,000 lumps.
Yeah.
But if I could go back and realize what I just said and could do it, because again, we all can do it. The question is will we choose to do it? Because it's odd to get in this position of, damn, dude, everything really is up to me. Yeah. Everything really is up to you. If you're poor, you're choosing it. Mm-hmm. And if you're fat, you're choosing it. Yeah. And if you're in a bad relationship, well, you're choosing to be. And people will fight that like it's death. Yes. And it's the truth.
So can I give them 3 steps to a comeback to get out of a bad choice?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, you have to become awake. So to become awake usually happens 2 ways. 1, some bad crap happens to you. You get a DUI, you get a divorce, you have a heart attack because you're out of shape. The other way to become awake is to get a revelation that Oprah would call an aha moment. Like maybe, Brad, you were somewhere and you thought to yourself a few years ago, man, I'm getting chubby, because me and you had this conversation. So it could be a revelation of I'm getting chubby, so now I'm going to get in shape. For me, I got tired of wearing Levi's instead of Levi's and looking like a poor kid, so I don't want to be poor anymore. So the first thing that'll come back is, number 1, you become awake. Secondly, you have to take inventory. That's what most people don't want to do. They got to lay the facts out there. How's my mindset? The clarity of my mind, the strength of my mind. How's my spirit? How's my spirit doing? How's my physical body? How's my job? How's my finances? How's my relationship with my wife or my girlfriend, or even being single? If I have children, how's my relationship with my children? So, number 1, awake. Secondly, take inventory, which people hate to do because then they see the facts. The third, and let's go somewhere on this, you got to partner with the right people. both me and you at this stage of our life, which I'm older than you, we have had to cut some people back because you could be the right person with the right plan, but if you got the wrong partners, you're in trouble. So awake, inventory, partner with the right people. Talk to us about partnering with the right people. Why is that so important?
Me?
Tell me.
Well,
In your own life.
Well, I mean, obviously, you partner with the right people, and the right things take place. You partner with the wrong people, but the word partner is going to throw people off.
Yeah.
Relationships, right? Now, you know me with my brand Real.
Yeah.
I like to call it relationships.
Okay.
You know, to me, I'm very concerned with health, not six pack and shredded, but health, overall health. Like, you know, I want to live for a long time. If I have to be chubby and healthy versus shredded and I'm going to die soon because I'm killing myself, basically, I'm all about health. Mm-hmm. Most people, when they lose their health, they'll give up all their money to get it back. Mm-hmm. However, they're sacrificing their health to get the money.
Yes.
You know, we got to get old to learn for some reason.
Yes.
I don't get it. But to me, relationships are what's most important because, you know, when you're born, if you don't have any, you die. When you get old, if you are any type of normal person, you're not looking to ask, hey, give me my bank account statement one more time.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking for people. So when you're born, you need them. And when you're dying, you want them. To do a Tim Storey, when you're born, you require them.
Yes.
When you die, you desire them.
Whoa. I like
So why do we forget how important they are in between? And then when someone's like, dude, look, I don't care I got enough friends. You ever heard that? I got enough friends. I just need to get paid. Guys, the more hands you shake, the more money you make.
I like what you did with relationship rather than just partner with power or people. The relationship. I'm going to tell you something. One thing I really admire about you is you're willing to go head to head with somebody. Like, we won't say who, but there's been one or two times that I know of people that are real big in our space. Well, you'll do this with them and you don't back down. Where did you get that side of yourself where you're willing to just say, I think I'm right, I'm not budging, and if we got to do this, then fine?
Well, because I operate with something called principles.
Okay.
You know, and when you believe in something, I think you automatically defend it, fight for it. And I have principles, and the principles are, you know, number one, in a lot of cases, it's also, you know, in the past, I would say ego. I would fight and argue over ego when I didn't really know anything.
Yeah.
But in certain cases, you believe in something, you know, you're not going to talk me out of it. And I'm not enamored by everybody's glitz and glamour. Like, you know, I was invited tomorrow to, you know, hey, you want to come out on, that we're on stage with Lil Wayne and Amber Rose and Ray J and all these celebrities in this VIP section. And I said, oh, that sounds fun. What time? They said 1 a.m. I said, oh, I don't go out at 1 a.m. Someone was like, dude, why would you pass up on that?
Yeah.
Well, because first of all, I've been in those.
Yes.
And quite frankly, I don't know those people. They're just going to be looking at me like, you know, you must be somebody's friend or you wouldn't be up here. You know, it's an opportunity to build relationships. But at 1 a.m., what kind of relationships are you going to be making?
That's very, very good.
You know, nothing good happens after midnight, right?
Yes.
Now, if you're already out, you know, I guess that's one thing. But my point is, relationships are more valuable than health.
Yes.
I
totally agree.
Well, I would have argued that a lot of times and been wrong, because if you would have said, Brad, I'll tell you what, how about your little girl gets a terminal disease or you do? Pick one. Well, I'd take me.
Yeah.
So in other words, health is very important. I think the most important, because we'll give up all our money to get it back if we lose it. People don't appreciate it very much. You should focus on it more. But the real value in life, the most valuable thing in life, are relationships.
Yes.
And I think the most important is the one you have with yourself.
Okay, so you went to a perfect place because we're talking about choices, and when someone makes the wrong choices and helps them to get in the wrong position, I said you have to wake up, take inventory, find the right relationships, right? You have to find the right relationships. And I like what you just said about the power of honesty. So there's a song by Billy Joel. I don't know why, but I play that damn song once a week. And it's honesty is such a lonely word. Everybody's so untrue. Remember that old song by Billy Joel? It's a good song. I'd sing it, but I don't sing. But I find that is so much of a fact that a lot of people will not really tell you the truth. But even the Bible says it's better just to like hit somebody in the front than, stab them in the back. And I like that side about you because I've had conversations with you where you don't soft coat things, even though you're such a nice guy and all our friends, we all get along with you. But you also have something inside of you where you're okay with being honest. Did that take time to develop, or was that in you at an early age?
No, I think it changed over time. I got to a point, that's why I said relationship with yourself, because I used to need everybody to tell me I was good and tell me I was smart and tell me I was funny and tell me I was okay.
Yeah.
And now I don't need that anymore, only because I think I'm okay. I think I'm smart. I think I'm funny. So again, if someone doesn't think I'm funny, like I look at like, what? How can you not think I'm funny?
Yes.
Before I would have said, so you mature or something. I mean, I think I'm acting and thinking now like I should have probably when I was 30. Don't people mature around like 30?
Yeah, no doubt about it. So if I could just break this down. So you have what they call the stages of life. Birth to 20 is stage 1. Stage 2 is 20 to 40. 20 to 40 are the make or break it season. That's the stage. Because if you start having too many setbacks from 20 to 40, you're on your back heels. And now from 40 to 60, we're going to have to spend a lot of time just fixing your butt all the time.
How do you do that though?
It's not easy. And that's why most people, they live what I call almost life. I was almost happy. My relationships almost worked. My kids almost like me. And this is a hard conversation, but people on this type of show need to hear this. Most people are stuck in an almost life, and they find themselves caught between the 20 to 40, the 40 to 60, and now they're just going to like the Eagles reunion tours, just trying to find moments where they remember the good old days. But they can change it by becoming awake, taking inventory, having the right relationships, number 3. Number 4, finding the right principles. And you talked about that, about this whole heavenly way of thinking with faith, courage, goodness, integrity. So principles can change your damn life. You start getting in the right principles, could change your whole life.
What if you've never had them, and how do you just all of a sudden develop them?
I think you start looking for mentors. I don't know if you ever thought that you'd be this kind of a mentor to people. I was in Italy. I was in Milan, Italy. And I was talking to a guy there that was at a seminar in Milan, Italy. And he says, Tim Storey. I said, well, how do you know me? And I said a few things. And he said, Brad Lee. I know you through Brad Lee. The man lives in Milan, Italy. So you, young man, have gone worldwide. And so you are a person that you are teaching people principles. You're not a pastor. You're not a priest. You're not a rabbi. But you are a leader of leaders, and people are paying attention.
Well, my last name's Lee, Lea. You can't even spell leader without me.
See?
Otherwise, you'd just be dirt.
Hey, hit the bomb thing on that.
Yeah, so I was going to start a lead generation company, generating leads, because I think businesses a lot of times they think they need all this, and what they need are more opportunities to do business.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I need sales training. Dude, you don't need sales training. You need more leads. Okay. You're pretty good at sales. You're just not talking to enough people. So at the end of the day, I was going to start a lead company and then tell people, if you don't get leads from me, you're just going to end up with the D.
Ooh.
Lee.
Yes.
Or the D. Which one do you want? Because I want leads.
I like this. So this side of you right now, because we've been having some good talks in the past, I think you're accepting your role as a leader of leaders. And it seems like that's primarily where you're at, is leading people. Is that correct?
I've realized that leadership is important. Matter of fact, the REAL used to stand for relationships, energy, affluence, and lifestyle. Because lifestyle was, I've seen a lot of people with a lot of money, and dude, they don't know how to live. Their life sucks, and they got money, and dude, they got all the money, dude, but they don't know the right shit to buy. They don't know the right places to go. They don't have the right friends. They don't know how to enjoy the money. To me, that's lifestyle. So I always thought lifestyle was the L. Now looking back, it's leadership. Leadership. And the first rule of leadership in my book is you got to lead yourself. And if you can't even lead your damn self, how are you going to lead others? So I don't see myself as a leader, because I always saw that as a corporate word. And, leader because I'm the boss. Well, yeah, I guess you're the leader technically because you're the boss, but there's a difference between boss and leader.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a leader of leaders. I think I'm an influencer of influencers. Because I do influence influencers, but I'm still working on the leadership, Tim. I'm getting better at it. Like I said, I think I just finally matured at 56 that I should have probably felt at 30.
Yes.
Like I literally felt 25 up until 3-4 years ago.
So and now I'm going to tell you something that people say behind your back in a great way.
Okay.
I don't hear bad things behind your back. I would say 50 times in the last year and a half, people have said, have you ever studied this thing called Lightspeed VT? And then I say, yeah, the owner is a great friend of mine. I would say, without exaggerating, 50 times in the last year and a half. So to me, whether you want to call that leadership, being a pioneer, right?
Well, pioneer I am.
That you doggone did it with Lightspeed VT.
Well, listen,
dude, you put all of us. Let me just go there, because a lot of time you won't brag on yourself. For Tony Robbins, for Grant Cardone, for Tim Storey, for all these people, we would not have the same doggone platform if it was not for Lightspeed VT. And I don't think you give yourself enough credit for that.
Well, thank you.
I really mean that.
Well, thank you. But, again, maybe you can counsel me later, because I think to my mind, like when people say like I'm something, like I always get like, I don't take compliments well, because like, I don't think I'm something. That's the thing. Like Lightspeed should be $1 billion company already, but because of me, it isn't. So everybody comes in, they see what I've done, and they're like, hey, wow, hey, dude, this should have been way bigger, way better. I should have made much more of an impact. I've succeeded in spite of myself. So again, through immaturity, growth, eventually now I'm to a point where, okay, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
It's not too late, even though it's been a long time. But now I'm just kind of turning things around. Like I said, leadership, I'm starting to build a team, a real team. I should have done that a long time ago. I figured, I'll do it. You can't get somewhere by yourself. Yeah. So it seems like in the last 2 years, I'm just learning rapidly, and it's really self-realization.
Well, people are following you, so you must be doing something that is resonating with people, that they feel like they can get somewhere. because let's go into another subject for a second, and that is your talks. Like, we're the opposite in preparation. So if I'm going to do a 45-minute talk, I study 20 hours.
Yeah, but yours are great.
So I can rhyme and do all that crap I do. Right?
Yeah, but yours are great and everybody loves it. Mine, 50-50.
People love you. You come up, you do your little strut, you get up there, you look at everybody, and you drop all kinds of like truth bombs, and then you get a standing ovation. So I think it's just a style of leadership. It's almost like two actors. It's almost like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. People always try to put them side by side, but the true people who understand acting, they say De Niro and Pacino are very different in their style. So I think whether you want to be Pacino or De Niro, it's up to you. But
out of those two, I'd be Pacino.
Okay, so you're doing it your way, but it's working. And another thing behind your back, some young kid ran up to me at a conference probably 2 months ago, and he couldn't believe that he got to meet you. You spoke at some conference, and he couldn't believe he got to meet you. Then I was in Dubai just a few months ago. Another guy doesn't even know we're friends. He bragged that he got to sit next to you at some dinner you were at for that conference that you did. So you must be throwing off some kind of leadership vibe or pioneer vibe.
Well, I think that's more of a celebrity vibe.
Okay.
You know, like people go crazy over celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why?
True.
They're just people.
True.
I mean, when you break it down, dude, they're just people. And if you get to know them really well, you realize that they're just people.
It's true.
And it's for some reason, well, it's obvious because they're on TV and you're not, and not many people are. So like these celebrities get celebritized. Well, now social media is the TV, and I'm all over it.
All over it.
So I have a form of celebrity.
Your TikTok has exploded.
Well, no, it's actually dropped.
It has?
Yeah. I was at 2.7 million and then it stuck there for about a month and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And then I quit messing with it because like, damn, it ain't growing.
That is high. Those are big numbers.
Hey,
though.
so I went back after about like 6 months thinking, well, by now it's went to 2.8.
Yeah.
2.6.
Yeah.
I'm going to go look right now. Shit, I might even be 2.5.
But let's think about this for a second. That's over close to 3 million people that want to hear what you say. So I'm telling you, nonstop.
2.6. See, I that's it. I tapped out. Hit my limit.
For now, maybe life is just telling you to rest for a second, then it's going to go up, 200,000 quick. But sometimes I get it in a mood to look at TikTok because I don't look at it that much because I don't like hearing silly stuff. Like how we started talking about earlier where everyone's trying to be a coach and what the hell are they even saying? But man, I don't know if I got on your algorithm or what, but I just kept coming across all this Brad Lee stuff. And I like to study, and some people think I'm pretty smart. And I thought to myself, he's spitting fire. Like you're really coming up with some great things.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. I wish, that went viral. I'd like to get to 10 million.
Yeah. Maybe after this conversation, if you put some of these little things there, we'll hit those numbers.
Well, it's funny. And I teach people this all the time. They just don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I don't create all this.
Mm-hmm.
I just am this, meaning the camera guy that you saw.
Yeah.
Like all he does is follow me around all day. And then he puts it in a drive at the end of the day. Like at the end of the day was 5:00. They're actually wanting me to hurry up because, they should be home already.
Yes.
But the camera stays on if I'm here and my mouth's moving. If I'm going through my email for an hour, go to lunch. Nobody wants to watch that. But as soon as someone walks in my office, as soon as anything, if my mouth starts moving, the camera needs to be on. Why?
Yes.
Well, because dude, I want to be real and then I want to share whatever I am with the world. That authenticity, I think, is why I've got the followers that I have. It's because it's rare. Everybody wants to be this polished up version of themselves. And when you meet them in person, they're not the same.
100%.
Well, I don't want to do that. I want to let people see who I am. So if they like me, great. If they don't, great. But that'll never fail me. Why? Mm-hmm. Because it is me. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. So like someone said the other day, making all the content you make must be a lot of work. It's not any work for me. Why? Because I don't sit there and make it. I just let someone film me, do what I do. Now, I do create situations, which, by the way, is some other people's problem. Mm-hmm. I had one guy, I said, dude, you got to be the content. Quit trying to make it and just start to be the content. Yeah. Like every time your camera goes off and then you walk around the rest of the day, that's the shit you should be sharing. You're sharing the polished version of yourself, trying to sound smart, which you probably heard from somebody else anyway.
Yes.
Why don't you just keep the camera rolling? Like that's you. Like people need to reverse. Yes. Quit making content and turning the camera on and trying to say something smart. When the camera goes, you can do that too. But then when you would normally turn the camera off, keep it on.
Okay. How powerful is that? But I like the way you take that even into dating and relationships between men and women. Would you say some controversial stuff that I could not get away with?
Like what?
Well, you're really good about this idea of being your authentic self, even in relationships.
But why shouldn't you be?
Well, you should be, but I think that people, they hear so much of the other silliness that goes on about dating and courting, and really they're not showing who they really are. Well, where you're really all about like, this is me, and
well, that's why I said the relationship, because dude, I know I'm not a racist. I'm not a chauvinist. I'm not a freaking bad dude. I'm not a scammer. I'm not trying to sell you my shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to think people do. Oh, he's just trying to sell his course. First of all, let's pretend that's true. What's wrong with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Secondly, I got my course. If I ever sell you a course, bitch, trust me, it's worth more than I'm selling it to you for.
No doubt about it.
But again, if you don't do anything with it, don't blame me. Mm-hmm. Secondarily, I had to get to a point where I believe me. You see what I'm saying? So in relationships, same thing. Like if you're going to pretend to be something to get along with your wife, and that's not really you, it's just a matter of time before you start to be you, or she starts to see the real you. Yeah. And then you get divorced. That's why people get divorced, because they marry the fake versions of each other. Mm-hmm. You ever hear, my wife used to freaking love to have sex. Now she doesn't touch me. Well, that's because you used to act different.
Right.
And she used to be different. But now you guys saw each other for the real you. Wouldn't it be better if you found someone who just liked you as you?
How awesome is that?
But most people don't like themselves, Tim, and that's the problem. See, the reason why people won't leave the camera on is because they are racist. They are chauvinist. Yeah. They are assholes. Mm-hmm. They're unethical, dirty dogs, and they don't want the world to see that version of them. So they turn the camera off and they just let them see the big old fake version.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about flip the script? Okay. Why don't you just start to be real, be ethical, be kind, be generous, and without a camera. Mm-hmm. Then you don't mind when the camera's on, because what are you doing wrong? Literally, when he starts, and most of my camera guys that come through here only last 6 months to a year because I inspire them so much, and then they want to go out and build a business. But as new ones begin, they always like, if I'm talking, sometimes they'll like put the camera down. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, what are you doing? And they'll be like, you want me to film this? And I'm like, is my mouth moving?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think you would want that filmed. Why?
I'm liking this because it's not just a personality trait. It's not like this is just Brad Lee and it's a one-on-one. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. Like you could be this way in the 3rd grade, in the 7th grade, in the 10th grade, and as a 72-year-old man is what you're telling us.
Well, you could be, yes. Yeah. But again, it's a choice, and I made it. And it's hard to do when you don't like yourself, when you know you're full of shit, when you know you're a scam, you know you're a fraud, you know you're a liar. So you can't do it. But see, I don't know if you ever read my book.
Yes, I did.
But there's a chapter in that book where I used to lie my freaking ass off.
I do remember this.
For no reason.
Yeah.
I was outcast because of it. So at some point early, I learned how, dude, lies will always catch up to you. Yeah. Always. And why do you want temporary shit? So you have to choose. But again, I used to be the way I'm talking about. I used to like try to be cool and try to be this and try to be that. And it always ended. It always crashed. It always stopped because I was trying to be something that
Are you more at peace now than you were before? I've
$1,000,000%.
Okay. I see that. And I could tell that was going to be your answer. If I could just say this thing. When I am working with a client and I know that he's full of shit or she's full of shit and they've gone up the steps of the ladder, I tell them the best advice I could give you right now is go back down the damn ladder. Even if we don't see you for 6 months to a year, even if you don't do that movie, even if you don't do that tour, because really you're not in a good place. So just come all the way down and then let's figure out who you really are.
Who you really are, and then get you to like it.
Yes.
Because if I don't like something about myself, I change it. Mm-hmm. When you said, why are you doing this? I said, because it's time to level up and I got to level everything up. Mm-hmm. I can't pretend anymore. I used to pretend. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's getting old. Maybe I'm just getting too old. You know how these old dudes walk around and the shit they don't care about, like their pants are stupid, but they don't care. And they wear them up to here and the hair's growing out of their ears. At some point, dude, you just don't care anymore. Yeah.
But you're far from that.
But I got there mentally.
Okay, I personally believe it's the stage you're in. Remember, birth to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60, okay? You're in a stage where you've had such growth, you're just okay. You're okay in where you are. It's a Tim Storey saying. You may not be what you want to be, but thank God you're not what you used to be. Mm. Yeah, you may not be what you want to be, but thank God you're not what you used to be. Like, for instance, not all religious people like me like they used to. You know, I'd still do all the mega churches, but mainly I'm in the secular world. Like 80% of my life is in what they call secular, non-religious stuff. So there are some people that have said, sell out, he went Hollywood. I don't care anymore. I did care 20 years ago, but I don't care anymore. And I don't think it's just age. I think it's wisdom.
Yeah, it's wisdom. You trade youth for wisdom. Mm-hmm. But this is where it goes back to what you said in the beginning, and a good place to wrap for now.
Yeah.
You trade youth for wisdom unless, okay, when you're young, you seek wisdom from somebody older and more experienced. And they don't have to be older chronologically. But like if you're looking to be this, seek mentorship and help from someone who's achieved it. If you want to build a business, find someone who built a business.
Yes.
Mentorship. You mentioned it earlier because the question was, where'd the mastery go? Mm-hmm. Well, the mastery died because I think people stopped seeking mentorship and apprenticeship.
Yes.
Back in the days, even before me, you had to be an apprentice and you worked for the master until you became one. It was an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
But I think now, thanks to social media and a lot of these coaches and mentors, everybody, I think, might be just questioning the real people.
Yeah. Like I like what you're saying. And I think that a lot of people that are watching right now, you need to shake off some of these people that you think are your mentors and find real proven people that understand life and learn through education, through the proper conversation and the observation. You should be able to watch somebody's life and say, hey, I would like a little or a lot of what they've got.
Or let me see your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Like nowadays when people are trying to convince me of this and that, I say, let me see your bank account. Yeah. They go, what? Mm-hmm. Let me see your bank account. It's just not about money. Dude, listen, you're trying to tell me you're going to show me how to do this, that, and the other thing, but you're broke. Like, do it for yourself if you know how to do it.
So good.
It's like, dude, just check their credentials. If they haven't done it themselves,
yes,
then why would you seek their mentorship in that realm? Now, again, it doesn't always mean that. There could be a big fat guy that used to be a championship bodybuilder. He knows exactly how to do it. He just stopped doing it, but he definitely knows how. Well, that fat guy could mentor you into shape.
Yes.
So it's not always the case, but it's a good freaking initial check.
I love it.
You know, hey, I'm going to teach you how to build social media. Well, why do you have 1,900 followers? Why wouldn't you have 1 million followers or 10 million or 20 million? Like when someone tells me, hey, let me tell you something about social media, and they got 3,000 followers, or hey, Brad, you probably shouldn't do that so much. I go, how many followers you got? They go, well, what does that mean? Well, dude, if I'm going to listen to you, it's because you got more than I do. Otherwise, maybe you should be listening to me, right?
You're dropping bombs.
Well, it's just obvious. This is common sense. Why don't more people have common sense, Tim?
Yeah, they don't. And I'll give the last answer because we're wrapping up. And I think part of it is they're not looking for damn common sense. They're just okay with mediocre answers and mediocre living. And at this stage of my life, I'm not. No, I'm looking for truth. Reality. I got to have truth.
Love ain't lies.
100%.
I was watching this dude the other day on social media, and he was preaching, and he said, we owe you love, but we don't owe you access. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that mistake the two.
That's actually very powerful.
Now, you're here in Vegas.
Yeah.
For the Aspire thing at the Worry Studios. My boy,
and they
Eric Worry. By the way, if anybody, wants to put on a big, real virtual event, Worry Studios is the one to do it at.
They're amazing. So that's your guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Worry and Marina. But you're up here with the Aspire tour. You go almost everywhere with them, and that's because of the effort you put in to your 45 minutes. Yeah, they haven't asked me because they want professionals.
They love you.
No, they asked me once.
Too expensive.
No, they asked me once. I forget where it was. It was somewhere else, like Atlanta. And I said, dude, I can't come to Atlanta. It's not a good thing. And then they asked me again, and I didn't think they were paying. They were just kind of doing the whole favor thing. Which again, I mean, I've done a million favors.
Yes.
At the end of the day, though, I have shit to do now, and it's like, I need to do myself a favor and learn to say no.
Yes, they do pay, and they like you.
Well, they pay you.
I'll talk to them tonight or tomorrow. But we have a conference going on, Worry Studios. Kevin Hart.
Oh, actor, see, they're paying him.
Comedian.
They're paying you, but they just want me to do them a favor.
They're paying only the black guys.
yeah, they're paying the black guys. Dude, that's discrimination. I'm going to file a suit. No, dude, I think they pay the draws. Like you'll draw, and not only that, you deliver. Like your speeches are great. Like they're inspiring, and you're funny, and it hits. Like again, you're gonna hit every time. They can guarantee you will. It's 50-50 with me.
Yeah.
You hire me, it might come out just flawless one day, and then you're like, dude, let's hire this guy at this event. And then it's not the same. Why? Because I've never done the same speech twice.
Yes. I think you're a phenomenal communicator, but I do want you to let me help you just as a friend to craft like one new talk, which I would call a signature message of where you are right now and what you want to say right now.
The only problem is like I don't really want to speak.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I've made some, like, I want to grow this business.
Mm-hmm.
I keep speaking as if I'm some successful, I exited billions. I haven't done shit yet. I need to do the job first. Remember when you said you need to disappear for a while?
Yeah.
That's what I've decided.
You know what? I'm okay with this. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Like I need to do something worth talking about.
Go to the desert, work hard, build these businesses even higher because you're already doing very well financially
compared to
business compared to most people on the planet. But I like what you're saying. Let's build those things, and then you're going to go share more.
Okay, but just so you know, like I don't compare myself to most people. I want to. If I'm going to compare myself, I'm going to compare them to the best people.
Yes.
And the best people are crushing my ass.
Yes. Can I say something about these comeback camps that I'm doing?
Yes. Maybe that's where I should go.
You should.
Do you have to have a setback to have a comeback? Because what if you're in a position like me where you're doing good, you're just not doing as good as you thought you could? Because that's me. Everyone says, "Oh, dude, you're being humbled." No, I'm not. I should have been a billionaire by now.
Yeah.
This technology is multi-billion-dollar organization that I've kept small. Now, again, some people could say, Brad, it does 8 figures. It should have been doing at least 9. And quite frankly, it should be valued at over multiple billions.
Yes.
But I've kept it small from my tomfoolery, my lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
So again, now that I'm like, wow, okay, I get it. Well, dude, I got a probably 3 to 5 year window, heavily embedding AI before AI is all there is. So like I got work to do. If someone wants me to speak now, I want $100,000. And a lot of them are like, well, that's out of our budget. And I'm like, I understand. Why? Because I got work to do.
But I like what you're doing. And I would stick to that 100,000. That's what you should be getting paid. But the comeback camps are not just for someone who's just sitting in a setback.
Okay.
Because I call it comeback and beyond. Because there's 3 levels of living: almost, most, and utmost. So most people are in an almost place in at least one area of their life, or a most means there's a ceiling. John Maxwell calls it the law of the lid. I become a professional of taking people beyond that damn ceiling. So that's what we do. So in these camps, I bring in only 50 people that can come, and they come from all over the world. This next one's in a big house in Beverly Hills for 2 days. I'm bringing in people, mindset coaches, breath coaches, crisis coaches, trauma coaches, financial coaches, but brilliant minds, brilliant people. So it's not just if you're beat up, it's just if you know you can do better. So I'm going to help you get better.
How about it's not just if you're beat up, it's also if you're teed up.
Ooh, my God.
See? You like those rhymes, don't you?
I'm going to be quoting your butt everywhere and not even giving him credit. I like that one. That was a good one.
What's the final one? I like the utmost.
Yeah. Almost, most, utmost. That's where you're headed. Come on. You know how much everybody looks up to your wife. You have an amazing wife. You have amazing children. You're nice to all of us. You really are. You're a good man. Like real men really care about you. So I think that there's something inside of you that says, you know, Brad, you're kind of caught between most and utmost, and that's not good enough. Hit that doggone utmost in every area of your life. Boom.
So how do people apply to go to this thing?
Go to timstorey.com.
Tim Storey, that's Storey.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys want to follow him on social media, if you're not already, at Tim Storey Official.
Only
Pretty simple.
3.1 million followers. That's it.
Yeah, see? More people like Tim than old BL. I don't get it. Like, dude, maybe I need to rehearse TikTok, 25 hours.
TikTok's a beast. To get your numbers up on TikTok that high, it's crazy.
Well, it was easy, and I think it's because of the demographic. I mean, TikTok, they're looking for funny, quick, bang, bang, bang. They're not looking for deep stuff.
Yeah.
And I found the people that are on there that are probably, right in the middle, that they like, the quick, but they also want some deep, and that's what I think I give them.
Yeah.
There's some value
Agree.
in it. There's some value. I'm not dancing and doing stupid shit. Like I'm just giving some thought, some original thought in most cases. But at the end of the day, dude, TikTok just started climbing for some reason. I think it was because when I started, the algorithm the algorithm was different.
Yeah, makes sense.
These social medias changed their algorithm. They wanted more creators, and they want people that weren't getting any views. So if you get on TikTok and all you see is the same big channels because they're the big channels, well, then you're never going to get anything new. And eventually they know, dude, eventually everyone's going to get sick of the same ass people. So what they started doing is they said, hey, if you got more than X amount of followers, don't worry about that. They got followers. They're not going anywhere. We got them. Now let's help the ones with no followers.
Makes sense.
And they started sharing people with less followings, and then they started getting followers, right? And then it switches, and now it goes back to because they're hooking people to stay on the platform.
Yes.
You notice, like, how long you been at 3 million?
For a minute, you're right. It kind of stopped there the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Well, I'll bet you one day it'll go. And I know my day's coming. I think the formats need to change. I think the preparation needs to change, and the volume.
Yeah.
I need to put out even more.
Yeah.
But I'm changing a few formats, and I'm changing some things. The podcast, I got Post Malone coming on. I got freaking actual celebrities coming on. I got, Andrew Tate, your boy Tate's coming on.
I'm kind of
Tim Storey's on now. I was going to say.
You said actual celebrities.
Well, because most of my guests are entrepreneurs, because we're talking about journeys and what happened and how'd you get out of it. And then the people listening are kind of entrepreneurial, and they're listening to the entrepreneurs that got out of their way. So people appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's why I got such a good audience. But I'm gonna mix in celebrities.
I love this. Hey, the Post Malone thing's going to be huge.
Post Malone's going to be huge.
I think you and him are going to so vibe.
I'm going to get Roger Stone, some political people.
I
had Diana London yesterday. Do you know Diana London?
Yes, of course I do. I like to study.
She's going to send me some people. You're going to send me Charlie Sheen.
I think Charlie would be great here.
You're going to send me Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
That would be a great conversation.
That'd be a great conversation just about life.
I don't know if they'd last long on a few of them, because like De Niro, for example, he hates Trump.
Yeah.
And I don't hate Trump. I like Trump, and I'm glad he's our president versus the competition. Now, there would have been other people in the mix. Hey, listen, I'm sure there's maybe better representations, but dude, he's a businessman, and businessmen need to be in there right now, especially right now with the Iran and the whole thing going on.
Of course.
But I'm afraid that most of Hollywood is the opposite. And I don't know how long the conversations will last. Not from me. I mean, I'm open, but I would ask De Niro, dude, what is your deal?
Yeah.
Honestly, why do you hate him so much?
I agree, and I'm not afraid to talk to those guys.
But why do they hate him so much?
So let's take it off of Robert, in case I run into him at the Polo Lounge coming up.
De Niro?
Yeah, I see De Niro around, but let's take it off him for a second. Let's say just some star.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't say it, Bobby.
When I'm with Bobby. No, let's just say it some star. I challenge their butts. Because I think they need to realize how many people are listening to them and seeing their actions. I'm not into division. If everybody did not like President Obama, fine. If they
I liked
don't like
Obama.
President Trump, fine. But we're all human beings.
I like Trump.
Come on, man. We are the world.
Say it again. We're all human beings.
We're all human beings.
At the end of the day,
we're all human beings.
Hey, listen, if they want you to be quiet, broke, fat, and unhealthy, then do the opposite. Get rich, get in shape, get loud.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And they want us diversified for some reason. They want us divided.
Yes.
And it's not the people in the seats, guys. It's the people above the seats that you don't even know their names. They do it on purpose.
So good.
They want us divided.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is, because if we all united, we still don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So we'd still all just, but we'd be united. And when you're united, you're tough to crack.
Yeah.
So they want us divided so they can control and influence and, milk. Dude, we are cattle. Mm-hmm. I'm going to end it with this, even though it'll probably spark a whole nother conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I think the government, for example, the citizens of the United States should be the government's customer, but instead we're their product.
Mm-hmm.
We're their product, and they're treating us like that. They're treating us like their product when they should be treating us like the customer.
Can you drop a bomb? That's the truth. We're going to end on that. But there is division that's going on, right? There's division, and it is not correct. It's not right. And what you've said about the idea of them leading us, they should be servant leaders. Whoever is helping and in government, serve the people, love the people. What does it say on the side of police officers' cars? To protect and to serve. Be a servant. It'll change the world. Oh my God.
Folks, we're going to have Tim back anytime he damn wants to be, virtual or otherwise. Until next time, go follow him at Tim Storey Official. If you guys listen, if you guys want to get better or maybe you're in even a little bit of a dip, go to the comeback camp.
Yeah.
Go to timstory.com, apply for that. There's not many seats. They always sell out. Who knows who stops by, but the people that have the expertise will be there. And I would say, listen, mentorship should be called frickin' mandate ship. Like it should be mandated. Till next time, keep it real.